This experience will be completely life-changing, and there will literally be a time in the next few months where you look back and think, wow, I can't believe I ever lived without this knowledge. Your trauma is not your fault. Your healing is your responsibility. In this course, we're not fixing. You are not broken. We are simply becoming the observer. We are learning to hold ourselves in love. No healing happens through force. It happens through love. Some of the words might be a little weird, chakras, yoga. You might not use them in your daily life. I'm going to invite you, if you're weirded out by the words, hang in there. I was too when I started. Ask yourself, is this no or is it new? Take what feels like truth, leave what doesn't. Your first chakra governs your ability to be present in your body. When we go through difficult things or have major life changes, we often detach from our bodies as a survival mechanism. The blood and the energy pulls up and away from our extremities, and it redirects to pump our vital organs. It's a gift, but we're not meant to live there. The adrenaline is meant to be released. If it's not, it keeps us hypervigilant of our surroundings, ready to fight or flight, trying to keep us safe. What a gift. Thank you, body. But here's the thing. We are not meant to stay here, and we're not taught how to settle back into that place of stillness after, which leaves us reeling with anxiety, racing thoughts, chronically fatigued, and probably full of hemorrhoids. You're going to learn how to soften this protection that you've built up from a lifetime of experiences. You have a right to be here exactly as you are. So be here. You have your foundation within yourself. Now it's time to soften into your feelings. Sensation is the language of the body, and emotions are your greatest source of information. When you learn to listen to them, like I'm about to teach you, you'll realize that they're here to inform you, not control you. And by the end of this week, you're going to have a clear understanding of how to listen to your emotions and have a go-to tool to use when you're activated, or many. So this week, we're going to focus on actions. We're going to become the observer of our actions or our non-actions. Third chakra is all about our confidence, our personal power, our self-worth, our actions, and our ego identity, or what you derive your worth from in this material world. Surprise, we all have an ego. And in this module, you're going to observe the external forces that you're giving your power to in order to feel worthy and accepted. We also will talk about how you hold your body and how it may be a key factor in why you are getting the same results, attracting the same people, and finding yourself in similar situations over and over. The shadow side of heart chakra is grief, like we talked about. Grief is not a negative thing. It's not grief itself that's the shadow, but it's not allowing ourselves to grieve. Not allowing ourselves to grieve what's stored in our heart or the losses that we experience, that's going to keep our heart closed. And then it's going to show up sideways or unexpected or unannounced when we least expect it. Whether you're grieving your beliefs changing, or the death of a loved one, or maybe losing the future that you thought you had. You've got to allow the grief to move through you. It's never too late to practice using your voice. And you're not meant to heal alone. So find a community, whether it be 12-step, a therapist, a friend, a random person at the park while your kids are playing on the playground, doesn't matter. But find a community so you can start speaking. This is the bottleneck, and we're trying to get what's in the body outside. This is where we let it go. Because if we don't speak, then we get stuck on one side or the other. If we don't speak here and we tighten it here in this bottleneck, think of a champagne bottle. If that champagne bottle gets all shaken up, our body, all this stuff happens, all these traumas, all these experiences happen, and it gets shaken up, but then we don't express, we don't open our mouth, then when we finally do, it's gonna be like, poof. and we're going to be all over the place expressing left and right, right? So we don't want to get stuck here in the body and tie off our throat, and we don't want to get stuck up here in our head, spinning and spinning and spinning and talking in circles and talking in circles and never finding our feet. After you sift through all those thoughts and you're meditating, the intuition drops in, drops here, drops an idea there. Everyone has an intuition. Often people say, "You're so intuitive. I don't have intuition like that." But our intuition is like a muscle. The more effort, the more practice you have with it, the stronger it's going to be. So how do we learn to trust our intuition? Practice checking in with yourself. Your body's going to tell you if you're okay or if something's actually up. Your body is going to tell you, "Hey, do this. Try that. Look here." If your focus is on other people, you're not going to be connected to your intuition. If your focus is on what everyone else but yourself is doing, you're not going to get the nudges and the wisdom that your intuition has for you. The more you know yourself, the easier it is to tell when it's your intuition and when it's your thoughts, and the difference between the two. That is possible. You will get that if you keep taking one step in front of the other. By the end of this module, you'll have let go of attachments that have kept you stuck. You'll have observed your beliefs that may be generationally passed down. This is your last week of content, but the practice does not end here. In every single moment, we come back to the present moment in that foundation, and we work our way up chakra by chakra, tool by tool. And if you stay focused on yourself and you let go of everything else outside of your control, remember, you're the sole occupant in this body of yours. If you can let go of the stress about money or the stress of a relationship, and you can stay focused on yourself and focused on your feelings and taking the next best step and taking care of yourself along the way, you will heal.